everyone, it's me, Sensei Hamza, back with another Scratch game tutorial. Last video, we were finally able to complete the Pac-Man game. Today, we're going to be starting and finishing the Snake game. For those of you who don't know, I'm currently playing the Snake game that we're going to create today on the screen right now. The goal of the game is to eat as many apples as you can to gain as many points as you can without hitting the outside part of the screen. So the game only really gets difficult when you're really big. In the beginning, it's pretty easy, you just maneuver around. But once you get really big, it's hard to collect the apples without hitting the outside. So I'll show you. So I hit the outside there and I lost the game. So yeah, this is the game that we're going to be creating today. Let's get right into it. Alright everybody, so the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to have to open Scratch as usual and hit the new project button. That'll bring you to the screen. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to name our game so that we know which one it is. So we're going to call this the Snake game. And then we're going to set up our sprites. So we only really need 2 sprites to make the game work. So the first thing we need is the snake, and the second thing we need are the apples so that the snake can eat the apples. So we're going to make the snake by hitting the paint button. And let's just change the name to Snake. And making the snake is really basic, so we're just gonna grab the color green. Again, you guys could really make the snake whatever color you want, but snakes are generally green, so I'll grab green. I want a dark green. Okay, there we go, that green will work. And then we just need a rectangle. You could hold shift to make it a square, and then just center that. Oh, and let's change the outline too. Let's change the outline to the same. Alright, so there is our snake. We could make it look a little bit better by bringing in some eyes for the snake. To do that, we could zoom in. To do that, all we really need is a black rectangle. Just drag it along right there. And boom, we're good. Grab another green rectangle, drag it along right there. And so, those are the eyes of the snake. Alright, so the next thing that we need is we need to grab our apple. So it's right here. So now we have our apple and our snake. Okay, so let's make the size a little bit lower. Let's make the size of this guy like 50. And then the snake, let's make him 50 as well. We'll lower the apple a little bit more to make it realistic, 35. And we are good to go with the sprites. Alright, so let's go into the code for the snake, and we're going to input the first basic code. We're going to have one green flag is clicked. We're going to set the size. Even though we already did it in here, I still want to do it in the code. So we're going to set the size of the snake to 50%. And we're going to have the snake go to x0, y0. We're going to have it start at x0, y0. And then we're going to create a variable. We're going to call that variable speed. Okay. And we're going to set speed to 0.2. There we go. And then we're going to grab a forever loop. Have a forever loop right there. And then motion, move 20 steps, wait, speed seconds. Put that right here. And then let's grab the variable speed, put that right there, wait speed seconds. And then we're going to create a clone of myself. Let's see. We're gonna go to the events button, we're gonna go to the control button, create clone of myself. Okay. And then we're going to grab the when I start as a clone. So let's see, where is that? When I start as a clone, right there. We're going to wait. And then we're going to grab an operator to put within that wait. We're going to grab the multiply operator. And then we're going to create another variable Right now, we're going to call that variable the score, and that variable is just going to keep track of the amount of apples that the snake is eating. So we're going to do weight score times speed, seconds, and then we're going to delete this clone. Let's grab the delete this clone button right there. So basically, this code is the code that's gonna, whenever the snake eats an apple, it's going to make the snake a little bit bigger, which ultimately is going to make the snake really big and then make the game really hard. So that's the goal. Alright, so the next thing after that is we're going to grab a when green flag is clicked and a forever loop, which we can grab from right here, forever, and then we're gonna need 4 if statements. So we could just input those if statements right now, 4 right after each other. And we're gonna need 4 operators. This is gonna control when the game is over. So what this code is going to do is it's going to tell us if the snake is over here, if he's gone to off the left side of the screen, then the game's gonna be over. If he's gone over the bottom of the screen, then the game's gonna be over. If he's gone over the right side of the screen, the game's gonna be over. And if he's gone over the top side of the screen, the game's gonna be over. So to do that, we're gonna need 4 operators. We're gonna need 2 less than operators and 2 greater than operators. We're just gonna flip-flop them so that we can make it look better when we insert the X positions and the Y positions. So, like I just said, we're gonna need to grab the X position, Y position, and Y position. And like I said before, this is gonna tell us when the game is over. So to figure out the numbers that are gonna go in here, we're just gonna drag this snake over to the left side of the screen. And it's around -230, -240. So we'll do, if the X position is less than -230, which means if the snake has gone over the left side of the screen, then we're going to broadcast a message. And that message is going to be game, we're gonna call it game over. Alright, and then we're gonna go to the right side. The right side is also 230, 240, so we'll do 230. If the X position is greater than 230, then we're also gonna broadcast that same message, game over, and then we can bring it down. If the Y position looks like it's -180, 170, we'll use 170. If it's less than -170, then we're gonna broadcast the game over message. And lastly, we're gonna bring it to the top. Looks like it's 170, 180, so we'll use 170. If the Y position is greater than 170, let's broadcast the message game over. Alright. So the last bit of code that we really need to put into the snake is the code for how to control him. How are we gonna control the snake? We're gonna use the arrow keys, so let's do that right now. That's basic. You guys have all done this already multiple times. So we're gonna grab the when green flag is clicked, forever loop, and then again 4 if statements, if, and then we're going to go to sensing, if key pressed, if key pressed, if key pressed, if key pressed, and then we'll change these all to up arrow, down arrow, right arrow, and left arrow. And then we're gonna just grab the point in direction button for all 4 of the if statements. So we'll change the direction once I'm done. Point in direction, and point in direction. So if we press the up arrow, we want the snake to go up, so that's gonna point in direction 0. If we press the down arrow, we want him to go down, so that's gonna point in direction 180. If we press the right arrow, we're gonna point in direction 90, that's good. And then if we press the left arrow, we're going to point in direction -90. So that's the code for the snake. Let's test that out. So the snake is moving. We have him go down. Obviously, when he eats the apple, nothing happens just yet, but we're going to fix that. So he's gonna move around with the arrows. We hit the left. Okay, we broadcasted the message game over, but we didn't put any code in for the game over message yet. So let's finish this. Alright, so now we're going to go into the apple and we're going to input code for the apple. So let's go here, apple, when green flag is clicked. So when green flag is clicked, let's grab a forever loop and an if statement within the forever loop. In the if statement, we're going to grab a sensing button and we're going to put that right there. And we're going to say if the apple is touching the snake, then we're going to, first of all, change the score by 1 because that means that he earned a point. And then we're going to hide the apple because we want the apple to appear in a totally different location so that the snake has to move to go and get the apple. So we're going to hide the apple and then we're going to have it go to a random X and a random Y within the playing field. So we're going to have go to X and then operator pick random for both of them. So pick random's up here, pick random, and then we're going to do negative 230 to 240, and then we're going to have negative 180 to 180. Alright. And then we're going to show the apple so that the snake can go and get it. Show. And then we're going to create another variable called clone. And we can hide the speed in the clone variable. We're going to change clone by 0.2. Alright. And then we're going to have we're going to go into control. We're going to grab the when I start as a clone. We're going to have a forever loop after that, and then an if statement. If touching snake, so let's go. If touching snake, then change score by 1, and then let's wait. Let's go to the control. Wait 0.1 seconds. Wait 0.1 seconds, and then we will delete this clone. And then we're going to put in here when I receive the game over message that's broadcasted. We're going to go to looks and we're just going to send the apple to the back layer. Go to back layer, and we have to do the same thing for the snake. So let's go up. When I receive, that's going to be an event. When I receive game over, let's go to looks, go to back layer. Alright, so we're all good for the snake and the apple code. So let's go into the snake. Let's see if when we eat an apple, do we get bigger like we're supposed to, and we do, which means that all of our code works well. So the last thing that's left to do is we need to broadcast a game over message when the snake hits the outside edge. We've already done the code for it, we just have to set it up. So we have the broadcast game over message, and we're going to create a sprite. Let's bring the score over here. We're going to create a sprite that's going to show the game over message. So let's go to paint, and then we don't need an outline. We can just make a black rectangle. Why is this not working? We could just make a black rectangle and insert a text box. You guys can do this however you like. You can customize it, you can change the font, and I'll make this red just like in real video games, and I'll change the font to pixel, make it bigger, bring it to the center, not that big, make it a little bit smaller, bring it to the center, and there we go. that to the center, and we are good. Alright, so let's center the game over screen in the scratch screen, and we'll call it game over. And all we're gonna do is we're going to say when I receive game over. So events, when I receive game over, show. Let's show it, and then let's go to X. Whatever X we have here. So X0, Y -1, that's good. And then we'll have the when green flag is clicked. Let's hide it because we don't want it to be seen when the game starts. And we are good to go. So let's test the game out right now. Let's go for him. And then we'll eat a couple apples, see if we get bigger, which we are. And then we'll go and hit the edge, and the game over screen comes up. So yeah, this is pretty much everything that you need for making the snake game. I really hope you guys enjoyed making this as much as I did. When you play, make sure to keep track of your score before the game ends so that you know how many apples you ate. And then let me know in the comments how many apples you were able to make, how many apples you were able to eat. So yeah guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed. I'll be posting more videos over the course of the next week. Again, sorry I wasn't able to upload these past couple of weeks. I was really busy, but now I'm back. And yeah, thank you guys, and I'll see you guys next time.